Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us right here on Midday Kentucky, everyone. Hope you are having a wonderful hump day. Because I had Monday off, I keep thinking it's Tuesday.
It's Whiskey Wednesday in Kentucky.
Wednesday.
What does that mean?
That's right.
You got to celebrate whiskey.
Is that a special? Is that today?
It's just a hashtag.
Oh, it's a hashtag. Oh, so it's like instead of saying hump day, we say Whiskey Wednesday.
Whiskey Wednesday.
Yes.
See, if we had a show in the evenings, we could probably sit here with a hot toddy or a whiskey.
Hey, Kathy
we're
Lee
on
and Hoda
cable.
do
I'm
it.
sure ABC.
Yeah,
Look at her now.
But have you ever seen them drink it?
Yeah, they'll do toast, little sip.
Yeah, I've never seen them actually drink the wine at that hour in the morning. My mother didn't mind to
I
drink
would
at that hour in
be.
the morning.
I wouldn't
but
let it go to
anyway.
waste.
Anyway, it was raining this morning, people.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, you
We
had
were
a
up
spray
early,
tan?
weren't we? Yes, I did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good, doll.
Oh, thank
It's
you.
good.
Look at my hands. Do they
I-
look better?
yes,
He
yeah,
always
love-
makes fun of me because I have the Oompa Loompa hands. I don't, properly wipe off the spray tan. So,
No, you don't prep yourself properly.
now I do. So there.
Exactly. Hey, everyone. I'm doing this whole fasting thing and that have become quite popular in recent times. But here's the thing. Katie just told me it was the fad last year, not now. I'm a year behind the times.
So are you still
But
gonna do
guess
it?
what? It could increase endurance. And a new study suggests fasting of any kind can be used as a way to shed pounds by placing a gentle stress on the body that kicks fat burning into high gear. Okay, now here's the thing. The National Institute of Health found that when paired with moderate aerobic exercise, intermittent food deprivation may enhance endurance. So I'm enjoying it. As I said to you, I got this new app on my phone that is for 16 hours. But this study was saying that it is not for 16 hours. They're saying 10 to 12 hours. And they say when people eat 3 meals a day, the energy does not go into their liver and becomes glucose. Oh, sorry. It says it takes 10 to 12 hours to do that. Not fast for 10 to 12 hours. I've been doing it for 16 hours.
Right.
And I actually feel pretty good.
Do you?
Yeah.
Now, when you are able to eat, are you just eating anything you want, or how does it work?
Have you met me, Lisa? I walk
I've been around you.
I'm the garbage disposal of WTVQ, please. Do you know what I mean?
I wasn't going to say that.
I couldn't wait to get to the snack machine to break the fast. I don't know. Is it something that you all feel that you say it's a fad from last year, and you
No, I
also
know a lot
said
of people who do it.
Yeah.
At Orange Theory, when I was doing that,
Oh, that's
a
right, you said
trainer that
Orange
was
Theory.
doing the fasting is obviously incredibly fit. I just think for me, when I think of times that I've been my thinnest and able to keep the weight off, is when I'm consistently eating little, small, healthy snacks the whole day. Because I think I'm too prone to binge eating.
Yeah.
So if I fasted, I
hear
think,
ya.
or when I've tried to do that, I have tried it, I
Yes.
just eat too much when I'm done.
Uh-huh.
Where when I've just done little things all day and planned those healthy snacks, that's when
Right.
I've been the most successful. But I mean, to each your own, whatever works, I guess.
Yeah.
And look, I am playing. I didn't race to the snack machine. You are right with that because I have to say, oh, see, it just told me. But it just told me, everyone, right now, you hit your goal of 16 hours. Well, I hit that an hour ago.
You did.
So I'm not quite sure. I'm fasting for too long, obviously. But I want to say to you, you said to me that with your trainers doing it, and also the trainers that I know about in Australia, they really promote it. But I don't know, I can say to you at night, when I'm eating at like 6:37 now, I feel like I'm wanting to eat lighter type of foods. Because it's now in my mind
Yeah.
that I'm going to fast. But then again, it hasn't helped my sleep because let me tell you, I didn't sleep well last night.
Really?
Who knows? Who knows? Hey, everyone, would you consider not wearing makeup to work if it could possibly help you get ahead or be treated differently? Now, would you sacrifice your cosmetic routine because you think people would take you more seriously? And do you believe that?
Oh, I read this article
Yeah.
as well and thought about sending it in. And I would say, yes, it depends on the job. So, of course, on TV, we're going to wear makeup. But when I was producing, behind the scenes, I didn't wear makeup to work.
At all?
But in this article, they were talking about the people who that works of you being taken more seriously and more successful. They still are into their beauty routine. They said their skin is great, they get their hair done. So they didn't wear makeup to be taken more seriously, but they said they still made sure they had the perfect outfit on, their clothes, So I do think a lack of makeup can make you be taken more seriously, but I do think there's more pressure to look more put together outside of your face. You know, like have a put together professional outfit in your hair,
Yes.
and then no makeup. I actually think you are taken more seriously.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting. You know, when
Lisa,
I was
let's
in,
be. I'm going to let you go with this.
Okay. When I was in sales, most of my career, my professional
Yeah.
career was in sales. I wore very little makeup, actually. I wore sometimes mascara, if I would think about it, but I wasn't really into makeup, never was. And so I started wearing makeup for television much more so than I ever did before. And I felt like, you know, I think I had a pretty successful career in sales and in business. I don't think it made a difference with my clients one way or another, whether I was wearing makeup or not. So I think, you know, to each their own. I think, you know, if you don't want to wear it, don't, you know.
I find that interesting because coming from the beauty industry of 20 years, it's not that I take a woman more seriously if they're wearing makeup. I just think, I guess coming from the industry that I've come from, I feel that it's always nice to see ladies with, I'd say to my friends, put a little bit of lippy on, doll.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? We're heading
Right.
out for coffee. You know, I always felt like they weren't dressed unless they had their makeup on.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
think in the
bad?
beauty
Is that
industry
bad?
maybe, but I think in other businesses that I've worked in, or even just as internships or anything, I think of the women who were in charge, or the CEOs, or you know the managers. They were not wearing makeup, and I will say I am guilty of judging people in that way. If I'm in a business and you know, someone comes trotting out, you know, all dolled up for their, I'm like, well, do you spend an hour this morning doing your hair and makeup? Where I think I take the woman more seriously that maybe has her hair done but didn't put any makeup on and is wearing the flats and is more serious. I don't think I really judge them, but I do think that it's
through your
true what
mind.
this woman's saying, that
Yeah.
like it goes through your mind.
Yeah.
I think you should do just whatever makes you feel comfortable, because I think then you'll be more confident, and I think it's confidence that people are reading. I don't know.
Is Alicia Keys on The Voice or American
She
Idol?
was on The Voice.
And she's doing makeup free, okay? But I have to say, every time I see the commercial, I think, I wish she'd put a bit of lippy on. And I don't know whether that's a bad...
Well, you're from that
Thought?
industry,
Well,
though.
I
mean,
think
really, you're from that industry.
with
so I think
Alicia
that-
Keys or some of these other actresses, I commend them for doing that. But at the same time, it only goes so far when people say, you know, I'm just aging gracefully, or I'm going makeup free. But you have a gorgeous face, and you can afford those $100 facials every week. Or, But do you know what I mean? And you're taking
Yes.
care of your face. So I don't know. I still commend them for doing it, but I think
got
that,
you.
you know, you look fabulous without makeup. Don't judge me for wearing makeup when maybe I have some insecurity. You know what I
Exactly,
mean? Like,
exactly.
if you don't have anything to cover up, like Alicia Keys, I mean, I wish
Yeah.
I had her face.
Right. I mean,
I don't know.
No, I get it. I think it's always nice to put your best foot forward. And I used to say things like this to my estheticians that worked in my spas or my stylists. If your hair isn't beautifully done, how can you sell that product to your customer? I feel that in our industry, I used to say the same to the estheticians, if your face is all pimply and you're not doing a lovely skin routine at home to maintain your skin, how do you sell that service to your customers who might also have those issues?
Yeah.
How do you convince them that this is the right type of procedure? And I also think in our industry here, it's always about, and especially on the other show that I had was The Younger You, it was all about information and education. And I always felt that it was, even though the women were doing before and after shots, I'd never want them to go on camera barefaced. I always wanted them to feel like they had some type of beauty for themselves. I didn't want them to feel raw.
But that's implying that beauty is adding, you know, makeup.
No, you're right.
You know,
You're right.
maybe in that beauty industry and things
You're
like
right.
that, but if I didn't work in news or if I was producing again, I'd still brush and do my hair, but I wouldn't wear makeup to work.
Yeah.
And that's what I did in my previous jobs. And I do think people are often more beautiful, and I do agree taken more seriously, not
That's
doing
interesting.
the not doing
Okay,
the face.
tell us what you think. Head over to our Midday Kentucky Facebook page. I think it's a really interesting conversation to
I think it
have
is too, yeah.
on all different aspects. But I just also want to say, Lisa, you have come a long way wearing makeup every day because you even wear it to the gym. So there
I
you
never
go.
take it off. Just once I put it on, it's on the rest of the day.
So we've done a full 360, dear.
Now you want me to back off, because I can
Exactly.
back off.
All right. Katie, I want you to talk about a topic that is a bit tough It's about loaning money to friends.
Yeah, loaning money to friends. Have you guys ever done it? How did it end?
Okay, I'm just going to admit this. I actually borrowed money from a friend at one point when I was living in Nashville, and I had to borrow to cover my bills for the month. I just had a little hiccup of things that I couldn't take care of, and I was so paranoid about paying her back. Like as soon as I got my paycheck, like 5 days later, I paid her immediately. Like I did not feel comfortable borrowing money. I was glad that she did it, and it was very generous of her to do so, and I'm grateful for it. But at the same time, I did not feel comfortable borrowing money. But I did have a friend who borrowed a substantial amount of money from that same friend. So this is another friend that borrowed
What's substantial?
$2,000 from her and did not pay her back. She did not pay her back, and it's horrified me. I mean, even to this day,
Are they still,
it's horrified.
were they still friends after, or what happened?
It
just-
really
okay.
caused a rift in the whole relationship and everything. And she was trying to justify it by these other means, and you know that she did some design work for her or something in her house, giving her tips on decorating and stuff. And so it just got really ugly. And I would never recommend loaning money out to a friend. I wouldn't.
Look, here's the thing. If you have a close friendship with someone, because I've been in this situation, I've lent and borrowed, and I could pick up the phone today and borrow as much as I'd want from a friend because I have always honoured that. But in saying that, I have lent money to people knowing I probably won't get it back. Does that make sense? And I'm not talking about $10,000. Maybe, like you said, maybe 500 or 1,000, maybe. But knowing if they're borrowing money to pay electricity or rent or something, I'm probably not going to get the money back. And I'm okay with that.
And you're okay with it.
Yeah.
That's what
That's the
this
key,
really
yeah.
says.
Not
that
the
make
big money,
sure
though.
make sure that you only lend money that you're okay if you lose.
Yeah.
So if the amount is too high, where you'd be in a bad financial situation, you
Yeah.
don't get it back, probably shouldn't do it. But another thing that I found interesting in this article, this blogger was raising a point that what we're seeing often now between parents and children borrowing money as adult children. And she said specifically for down payments on a home and things like that, that it's not clear if it's a gift or a loan.
You're right.
And she's saying that she's had some friends that this is causing kind of a rift in the family.
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced anything like that? It's touchier with family because it might be
Yeah.
a gift or I don't know.
Well, coming from, I don't know about the Jewish religion, but coming from an Italian background, it's quite customary for the father of the bride to give a check on the night of the wedding.
Okay.
And that would normally be for a deposit on a home or deposit on land or something along those lines. I think if a family member, your mum or dad or grandma, are going to give you a deposit on that, you've got to be really clear what it's for.
Yep.
Is it a loan
Yes.
or do we have to pay back?
Yeah.
Because when mum and dad retire people, they might be needing the $20,000 they lent you. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Or even in the inheritance, they might knock it off of your inheritance at the end. Oh, by the
Well,
way.
I believe you should never expect inheritance.
Yeah.
Even if you come from a moderate family,
Yeah.
you might only get a couple of $1,000s.
Right.
I think you should always pave your own way. You know,
Yeah.
and
well,
if you're blessed enough that your parents have been lucky in life to leave you an inheritance, great. That is a windfall. You should never expect that.
Right. No, I agree. A lot of times, though, that's set up ahead of time
Yeah.
while the parents are alive. And so sometimes, though, they might have that
Yeah.
little, $2,000, $5,000 that they loaned you years and years ago. Might be deducted
Yeah,
off.
in the will.
especially
Yeah.
if there's siblings, because you could say, well, ex-sibling borrowed $50,000 and never paid
Well,
it back.
my
So that could be.
My sisters just said the same thing. My mother
Okay.
died a year and a half ago, and there was some money, and my sisters were like, well, I don't see why our brother needs to get as the same as us because my parents supported him.
Yes.
Well,
Well,
whatever, people.
yes.
Leave it. Tell us what you think. Head over to Midday Kentucky Facebook page. Hey, everyone. After the break, I sit down with Bluegrass Medical Aesthetics to see firsthand the success of an actual BMA patient. You're watching Midday Kentucky, everyone. Keep it right here.